So, whether you're new to motorcycle audio or perhaps you're a seasoned veteran, today's feature brand is certainly an eye opener because they have an incredible selection of product that is suitable for motorcycles. Of course, we're talking about Ground Zero. And today we've got their product specialist, Andy Smith, joining us to give us a breakdown of what all this craziness is all about. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Ground Zero. And it starts now. What's going on, guys, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We're talking Ground Zero and their amazing collection of products that are suitable for motorcycle audio. And what's more, we've got their specialist, Andy Smith, joining us. Now, Andy, I'm going to say it right here, right now. I am on a mission today, and that is to demystify and help dealers and consumers understand the breakout of all these crazy, colorful products that you have that can be used in motorcycle audio. What do you say?
Yeah, Ben, thanks for having me. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to helping you figure out all these amazing products and what the colors actually mean. We'll get through all of it for you.
All right, Andy, pretty excited to get into it. But first, an opportunity for our sponsor, SiriusXM, for a quick word. And when we come back, we've got Andy Smith in the studio talking about Ground Zero for the motorcycle audio segment. Don't you dare go away.
Hi, Paul Truman here with SiriusXM. We reached out to some of our partners in the industry, and here's what they had to say.
I can't say more or enough about just what it means to have our unit working with SiriusXM. It's like we're there now.
The SiriusXM service is something consumers want, right? So it's Paul.
That allows a consumer to listen to either podcasts, entertainment, sports, all at their fingertips. It's all about engagement, and that's what SiriusXM provides.
SiriusXM is a huge component in a vehicle nowadays. Consumers expect that technology to be available both in our OEM system as well as the aftermarket upgrades that they're applying to their vehicle.
Alpine and SiriusXM, through our electronics, are able to offer the consumer on the aftermarket side SiriusXM 360L, which is an expanded platform for SiriusXM. And it's really been a beneficial relationship for us with SiriusXM.
As a dealer, just remember, we don't compete with anybody else. We are absolutely one of the best profitability accessories you can add to any head unit that is SiriusXM ready.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to today's Connected. We're talking Ground Zero. We've got their product specialist, Andy Smith, in the house. Now, Andy, I want to get this question out early because, Ground Zero is a car audio company, but somehow has found its space within the motorcycle audio segment. And what's more, it wasn't really developed for motorcycle to begin with. So there's a story there, and I want to hear it.
You know, Ben, there is a little bit of a story, but it's not as widespread as you would think. I mean, yes, they make some amazing car audio gear, and we've all grown to love it. We just got lucky, then started trying it in the motorcycle world, and it's fit extremely well. So this car audio brand just keeps going and going and going. But what we have in the motorcycle world works in car as well.
Well, I think the lesson learned here is that we're talking about gear that performs extremely well. I mean, you guys know it. If you haven't been to any of these trade shows or haven't had the opportunity to listen to some of Andy's amazing builds, from wild to even more wild, I think proof is in the pudding. These drivers absolutely put it out. It's actually unbelievable, to be honest, to see the kind of output of these vehicles that you've built, Andy. So let's get into it. We're talking about 4 different series. Of course, we're going to talk about the nomenclature, the model numbers, but we're also going to talk about their specific purpose, what they're designed to do, and how you use them, I think, is the value here. We really want to hear from you, Andy, how you've kind of broken down this collection of product, starting with the full range drivers. We're talking specifically about the GZCF. Break it down for us.
You're 100% right, Ben. Our model numbers are sometimes a little crazy until you figure out what they are. So you're starting out with a GZCF. So it's GZ is Ground Zero. C is our competition line. F is our full range. You're talking our GZCF 6.5, which is a coaxial. This thing's an absolute monster. This is our 6.5-inch version. It also comes in an 8 and a 6x9. So I will tell you the reason for the color, because I know this is coming. Why is it yellow? Our yellow line is usually on our kick woofers. So this being full range and the 8-inch version and the 6x9 version, these actually play the largest frequency range. So they're going to play the lowest frequencies. The 6.5 is rated to play down to 55 hertz. The 6x9 50, the 8, I believe, is 45 without looking it up. So the reason for the yellow, that's on our kick woofer line. The reason we used it on the full range line is because it does play full range. It will play into our kick woofer range as well.
All right, so that's loud and clear, Andy. Yellow line, competition, full range, coaxial. But guess what? There's even subdivisions of that because there's a different magnet structure, such as a Neo, and other options. So let's break that down even further within the yellow basket.
So you're absolutely correct. There are different lines and different levels to this. So you brought up the different magnet structure, different motor structure. The Neo version of the GZCF. I don't have a Neo version with me, but the Neo version is a completely different speaker. It plays completely different ranges, and when we get further into this episode, there is actually Neo versions, and they are different colors as well for different lines. But we have a Neo version of the coaxial that I have in my hand in 6.5 right now. We're working on a couple others. You'll figure those out when we get them. We'll definitely show some more product testing. But the reason for the colors is, like I just stated a couple minutes ago, is the yellow is usually our kick woofer side. Then we go into a black and a red, which you and I are going to dive into farther here in a couple of minutes.
So moving on to the next category, when it comes to motorcycle audio, the kick woofer plays an integral part of a system. And as you'll see with this episode, Ground Zero's got you covered in that one as well.
You were absolutely correct. Our GZCK line, it is our kick woofer. It is what we're going to use as a mid-bass driver. So personally, when I do a build with any of the GZCK line, it is for my mid-range, my mid-bass. I'm building my own three-way system. So a lot of times what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw what I have in my hand is an 8-inch version. This is the GZCK 200 XSPL. We also have it in a 6.5 and a 10-inch. The difference between them is obviously the size. You got 6.5, 8, 10, so it's 165 XSPL, 200 XSPL, 250 XSPL. What we're using them for is your kick bass, your mid bass. I'm going to pair them with other speakers so that I can build my own three-way system. On most bikes, what I'm trying to do is use these in a lower or inside a saddlebag so that I can get the bass response that I'm looking for.
All right, Andy, we're moving along here. We've come to another category, which is, again, super important when it comes to building awesome motorcycle audio kits. We're talking about the mid-range driver. And for Ground Zero, it's the GZCM line. So I'd like to hear you talk about, because from what I understand, there are two different types of drivers within the GZCM.
Yeah, absolutely, Ben. There is a couple of different styles, so to speak, or lines in the GZCM product category. So majority of people are going to think of our GZCM as our black basket, right? This is a Neo version of a mid-range driver. Personal preference, what I use this specific driver for, this is the GZCM 6.5 Neo DC. I'm using this for vocals. It's amazing for a 3-ohm driver, small mounting depth, fits almost anywhere. Just amazing reproduction of mid-range. That is your start to what we're talking about in the GZCM line. The next one we're going to be going to is what everybody calls our red basket. This is the Pro version. It's a GZCM 6.5 N-Pro X. So what you're getting into on the Pro line, the red baskets, these are going to have the highest power handling along with the best range, frequency response. These things will straight get after it. And again, Neo magnet, they fit in almost any application, easy to use, great sounding straight out of the box.
So we've reached the final stop in our journey here, and I guess we're going to get into some lower frequencies with some subwoofers. And it looks like this one has a little bit of a personal attachment to you, Andy, and it's called the GZCW line. What can you tell us?
You're absolutely correct on a portion of what you just said, Ben. This does have some personal attachment because I did have my hands in helping design this amazing woofer. It is not a sub. It is a mid-bass woofer. It is a kick woofer. It definitely reproduces sound like a subwoofer, and it's hard to tell that it's not, but it is not a subwoofer. The frequency response out of this thing is nothing short of incredible. 30 hertz to 2400 hertz. It will give you mid-bass and kick bass response like you wouldn't believe. It's going to punch you in the chest. It is probably the best product for what you're looking at.
Andy, I'm sure you see this confused look on my face. What do you mean it's not a subwoofer? Are these not the drivers that are going to create bass? And how are you using them? Because I mean, there's not a whole lot of enclosure space on a motorcycle. So I'd like for you to kind of expand on that.
You're accurate again. There is nothing but bass response out of this thing. It's amazing. It does take a small enclosure. It does not, it will play open air. However, when I'm using it, I'm building an enclosure in the saddlebag. Okay. I am going to seal and port the bag to get the bass response. I'm building myself a cabinet so that I can get the most out of this woofer. Again, it's not a sub. It does sound like a sub to most people because I can make them play, most people can make them play down into the low 40s. Like I said, frequency response on this thing is 30 hertz to 2400 hertz. You can still get some decent vocals. You got some decent mid-range out of it. Bass response is a monster out of this 10. That's what we're using it for. That's what it was designed for. You don't need much airspace. I'm talking 0.5 to 1.25 cubic feet. A saddlebag, once you seal it, port it after displacement, you're going to be somewhere between 0.5 and 0.7. This thing's a beast in that type of airspace.
All right. So if you've made it this far, then you've really had a lot of information to absorb. And as you can see, Ground Zero has an incredible selection of different drivers for different applications. And this is the message and the point that I want to summarize this with, Andy, is in your words, why is having such a collection or such an assortment of drivers, available to you as a bike audio builder so important, and how do you take advantage of that?
The assortment is an amazing thing. I mean, everybody hears different. Everybody likes different things. Everybody's going for something different. So having the assortment and the flexibility of range in building your system is just a flawless deal. I mean, I have everything imaginable in my arsenal with Ground Zero. I can get you low end response. I can get you amazing mid bass. I can get you incredible vocals in mid range. We haven't even dove into the tweeter side of it. That's going to be another episode, Ben.
So my final point, and I think we've reached this destination, and that is Ground Zero is providing dealers an opportunity to build custom kits. I think this is what the theme is here. And if we take a closer look at the type of product which is currently available in the market when it comes to motorcycle audio, a lot of this stuff is prepackaged. A lot of this stuff is, a stage 1, stage 2 kind of build. I want to give you the opportunity to explain the difference from a custom kit versus these prepackaged stage kits.
So Ben, we can check almost every single box with something from Ground Zero. Do we prepackage a full setup? No. Here's what I can tell you. Custom does not come in a box. It does technically come in a box, but it's individually packaged and you're going to build custom out of what we have. The prepackaged stuff is great for an entry level, in my opinion. We don't necessarily have entry level. What we have is being able to expand on it, being able to build your own to achieve or exceed looking for. That's why we have all these different products. They just happen to work in motorcycle. They work great in car. We've made a way that we can get them into motorcycle world. And like I said, there's always something, but it doesn't come just straight packaged in a box.
That was Ground Zero's power sports specialist, Andy Smith, joining us, breaking it all down for you guys. We went through GZCF, GZCK, GZCM, GZCW. I know that's a mouthful, but the takeaway here, guys, is Ground Zero has every driver for every application. And in Andy's words, an amazing tool set and arsenal for you to build that sound signature that you're looking for your customer. If you happen to be in Canada and you're looking for this product, make sure you connect with their official distributor, Importel. For all other dealers, absolutely check out their website at groundzerousa.com. My takeaway should be your takeaway on this one. Listen, they don't beat around the bush. They are not a company that came out with these motorcycle kits for you guys to install. What they have done is found a way to use their incredible technology and the products that they offer within car audio and found an amazing platform to make it work in motorcycle audio. Proof is in the pudding. If you haven't had a chance, listen to their sound systems in their demo vehicles. Get to a show, go to a bike club. You are for sure going to bump into a Ground Zero build. These things play like unbelievable. And I think a lot of it has to do with the tools that they are providing builders to be able to customize that exact sound that the customer is looking for in the environment, which is, well, motorcycles. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.